the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife.
To infinity and beyond!
How's it going, guys? DIZNEYDAN here. Welcome back into the channel, and today I'm going to be doing something that is not really so much Disney related, but just something that I just really love talking about, and that is movies and TV shows. So today I'm going to give you my top 10 favourite TV shows of all time. Now, I haven't seen all the TV shows in the world. I haven't seen things like Breaking Bad. I haven't seen things, there's so many that I haven't seen. These are just my personal top 10 favourites. Number 10 on my list is Good. That's right, it's The Mandalorian. I've fallen in love with this show, and it's actually brought the love of Star Wars back to me. Star Wars has been really rocky for me quite recently. I was a fan of the sequel trilogy, but I wasn't so fan of the spin-offs like Rogue One and Solo. But this TV show is perfect. It's not overdone, it's simple, it's like a western. I do really enjoy it. I think the Mandalorian character is very intriguing, and look at Yoda, Baby Yoda, whoever. I mean, it's pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to season 2. So The Mandalorian is number 10 on my list. Number 9. Probably the greatest animated show of all time, Batman, the animated series from the 90s. If you want to talk about suspense, if you want to talk about great writing, phenomenal characters, great villains, Batman the Animated Series is probably by far my favourite animated TV series of all time. I just love it. I think it's great. This TV show has so much depth, and I would love a movie based around the Batman Animated Series. Number 8 on my list is this. It is a British show called Friday Night Dinner. This, probably a lot of you have probably never heard of Friday Night Dinner. It is about a family, a Jewish family that comes in every Friday for the Sabbath. And lots of things go wrong, and it's just funny to watch. And you have the overprotective mum, the clueless dad. You have the two sons who want to impress, but they also prank each other. You have the hilarious neighbour called Jim. Here's Jim in a nutshell.
Move this out of the way for me.
Oh, be careful!
Jesus! So much blood! It's so much blood! It's paint, Jim! So much paint!
Overall, this show is harmless, it's fun, it's great. And they're not very long episodes, they're like 20-minute episodes, and I couldn't recommend this anymore. So please go and enjoy Friday Night Dinner. Number 8 on my list is... Who didn't do the clap? Yes, it's Friends. I mean, growing up in the 90s and the early 2000s, this was played on like every single TV station. Friends is a classic. Friends is one of those comedies that will never ever grow old. I mean, every time you watch Friends and you watch an episode, I always laugh, no matter how many times I've watched that episode. I mean, Joey is by far my favourite character, and it's down as one of the greatest comedies of all time, and for good reason. So, yep, I chose with Friends at number 8. Number 6 on my list is a well-known sci-fi TV show. One of the I think it's the longest running sci-fi show of all time.
Hello. I'm the Doctor.
Doctor Who. Doctor Who is... Now, don't get me wrong, the latest Doctor Who episodes have been interesting. The last couple of seasons I've really not enjoyed as much, but if you go back to the Christopher Eccleston and the Matt Smith and the David Tennant, even some of Peter Capaldi's episodes, I really do enjoy it, and it's one of those shows I rewatch regularly. There's a lot of depth to the character of the Doctor. I just really enjoy him traveling to all these different planets. Sometimes it can get very cheesy, and some of the writing can be just awful. But when you find a great episode like Blink...
What do you mean, angels? You mean those statue things?
Creatures from another world.
But they're just statues.
Only when you see them. They are quantum locked. They don't exist when they're being observed. The moment they are seen by any other living creature, they freeze into rock. And you can't kill a stone. Of course, a stone can't kill you either, but then you turn your head away. Then you blink. And oh yes, it can.
Blink is one of my... If you talk about favourite episodes of any show of all time, Blink from Doctor Who is incredible. So that's why I chose Doctor Who as number 6.
The Doctor will see you now!
Number 5 on my list is... Oh gosh, talk about not PG. The Family Guy TV show. If there's one show that just makes me laugh consistently all the time, it's Family Guy. For me, this show is what I love in terms of just comedy, vulgar animation. For me, Family Guy is a show that is very clever, it's very well written, but it's just ridiculous. I could watch any episode of Family Guy and just be pleasantly surprised. I think Seth MacFarlane has done a great job with all the characters, but I just love the show. I think it's really fun and definitely not for kids. Definitely not for kids.
The hell is Red Bull?
You never heard of Red Bull? It's an energy drink.
Here you go, Peter. It's on the house.
Number 4 on my list. This is probably the most crude, vile TV show I think of all time. It is so incredibly explicit, so incredibly... There's not enough words to describe the In-Betweeners.
I needed help. Jay was useless, Neil was getting an early night, and Simon was too busy licking vomit off Tara's tonsils.
Hello everyone. Can somebody call me an ambulance? Because I'm in trouble. Time is moving really, really slowly, and everything is flat.
Are you sure it was just cannabis you took?
I ate it. I'm really sorry. Is my mummy coming?
Someone called an ambulance and they're taking him away?
Oh, Jesus, oh no. It wasn't me that sold it, right? Not me. Blue lights.
It's an ambulance.
That's what they want you to believe!
This show is phenomenal. This show I grew up with when I was a child, when I was going through my teenage years, and it pictured us exactly of how it was back then. Stupid, idiotic, it's just mad. You have the even today with my friends from home, we still talk about what characters we all represent. So we're either Will, Simon, the ladies' man, Jay, the biggest liar in the world, and Neil, just the dopiest, doesn't know anything. It's great. The In-Betweeners is definitely a show I would not recommend for kids, unless they are in their teenage years, and it's definitely a very British show. Do watch the British show, not the American version, because the American version is awful. It's an embarrassment. Watch the British In-Betweeners. Number 3 on my list. I've never fallen in love with a show that quickly. Now, I am only on season 5 of Game of Thrones. I'm halfway through. From this current moment, I'm only halfway through season 5. But for it to be so high up on my list, because I have loved every single moment of this show. I couldn't fault it. It is just my thing. It is drama, politics. There's a little bit of humour in there. There's a lot of explicit stuff in there. But everything I love in a TV show is in Game of Thrones. Now, obviously, this is not number 1 on my list because I haven't finished the show yet, and I know there's been a lot of sort of criticism of the last season. I don't know that yet, but for me, this is by far the show I have fallen in love the most. I could recommend this to everybody except for children. You can see a theme going, but A Game of Thrones for me is definitely number 3 on my list.
It's a trick, a shadow on the wall, and a very small man can cast a very large shadow.
Number 2 on my list. Yeah, I think a lot of you might be surprised. The Big Bang Theory. For me, I can happily admit I'm a geek, I'm a nerd, I love superheroes, I love Disney, I love theme parks, I love movies, TV show, everything, and this is exactly the show for me. I can't even tell you how much I've rewatched The Big Bang Theory. From season 1 to season 12, I've probably rewatched the whole of Big Bang Theory over a dozen times. All of it. And there's like 25 to 30 episodes in each season. It's a perfect series for me. And I know some people have fallen less in love with it later on by like season 11, 10. I still love it. I think it's great. I think the writing is great. And Doug, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was really emotional on the last episode of The Big Bang Theory. So. Number 1 on my list. A lot of you probably never heard of this show. It's called Top Gear.
There we go. Reliant Robin.
Top Gear, for me, is the greatest show I think ever made. It is a factual, non-factual car show where it's there for humour, but also information about cars. They decided to cross the English Channel in Cars. They always play pranks on each other.
And how was sleeping in your lorry?
Not bad. What about yours?
Fine.
Where did James sleep in the end? What's he done?
Stupid high-tech mountaineering tent he's hung from his crane.
Why is it up there? Jesus!
Clarkson! What? Funny.
Clarkson! I know it's you, you insufferable oaf. I'm on the bloody throne.
As dawn broke, the peace and serenity of this beautiful Ugandan morning was shattered by the bellow of a wild animal.
Clarkson!
These guys, Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond and James May, have such great chemistry that they are so good together and they make such an amazing show. They have fun together, they do travels, they prank each other, they just have a great time, and it's one of the most entertaining. Me describing it does not do it justice.
And now, coup de grace. Patient to hospital.
Hammond, you blithering idiot!
So they did Top Gear, and then they moved over to Amazon Prime and did The Grand Tour, which again is just phenomenal.
Hammond! Hammond! You moron!
So thank you everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at DIZNEYDAN. You can also check out my partner channels Mickey's Magic, Viapree Project, RobFuz and Mouse Talk. And thank you again to all my members who have signed up to the DIZNEYDAN membership. If you have signed up to the DIZNEYDAN membership, please head over to the community tab. Find that link to join my DIZNEYDAN members Facebook page where you can vote on video ideas and get exclusive stuff on there. So guys, thank you so much and live your life with a smile each and every day. And I'll see you guys all real soon. Goodbye.